Guys, happy Wednesday. Welcome to the I can't even say it, Treasure Coast Market Update. Today, we're going to delve into Port St. Lucie prices versus a couple cities down in Martin County. Stay tuned.
You better get fired up.
Guys, what's going on? Happy Wednesday. Today, I want to talk about the average price in Port St. Lucie versus the average price in Stewart, Palm City, and Jensen Beach. We're going to take a look at those prices. I get the comment all the time, Joe, I'm looking kind of in that, Port St. Lucie, Stewart area, but I've got a budget of X, whatever that number is, right? And I often tell people, hey, typically when you go south of that Martin County border, right, or I should say that Port St. Lucie border into Martin County, you're going to see about a 40-50% increase in prices. It doesn't mean it's a bad thing or a good thing. It just means it's a thing. You've got to be okay with that. So you're going to get less for your dollar, or you might go over budget. Are you okay with that? Is that area attractive enough? Does it have enough goodies, whether it's location or the beach or the schools or your family or whatever it is, to pull you in there? If it does, go nuts. Let's go check it out. If it doesn't, let me pull you up to Port St. Lucie, right? So let me actually show you those numbers. Instead of just throwing out 40 to 50%, let's see if that's accurate. I know it has been in the past, but I haven't looked at these numbers in a while. So I think this will be helpful for all of us. All right, let's go entire screen and share. And there you go. So this is the MLS, the multiple listing service. This is where all new listings get input into the system, right? And then all the major sites like Zillow, Realtor, Trulia, Redfin, eXp Realty, Keller Williams, Coldwell Banker, Remax, they all pull from this site right here, meaning this is the hub. This is the hub of everything. So we're going to look right now at, let's go sold, and we'll go in the last, let's say roughly 30 days. Excuse me. So we'll go back to May. What's today? The 11th? Let's go back to the 11th. Okay, there we go. And we're going to look at single family homes. There we go. So you can see right up here, there's 381 sales in the last roughly 30 days in Port St. Lucie that are single family homes. So we can come right up here and we can see what the average is. All right, so now we're going to scroll down here and view, and you'll be able to see right here that the average sold price is $443, $428. Now, I've had a couple people say, Joe, I've seen you put up other numbers before when it comes to averages, and they're much lower. Like right now, I'd be saying $415. That's not the average. That's the median, right? So the average is add them all up and divide them by the amount of sales. Median is look at the middle sale. That's the one you're looking at. I like median a little bit better, but I was asked to do average today, so I'm doing average. So you can see the average is $443, $428 for Port St. Lucie. So now we're going to do exactly the same thing, but let's look at, let's get rid of Port St. Lucie and let's add in Jensen Beach. Let's see what we can do with that. And again, these are only homes, so there's no condos, townhouses, anything. There were 21 sales. And when we look at the average, we are at 584, 595. That's Jensen Beach, okay? So you're looking at $141,000 more on average for a home in Jensen Beach versus Port St. Lucie. Now, let's go try that same thing with Palm City. I'm guessing Palm City is going to be a little bit less than Jensen Beach, not than Palm City or than Port St. Lucie. Oh, not save. Come on now. I'm guessing we're going to be in the mid to lower fives here. We are at, holy smokes, 988. So this is why I'm not a fan of averages. 988, 344. It should be higher, but it shouldn't be that much higher. Okay. The reason it's so high, because you can see there was one that sold at 275. This is why I don't like averages. All you need is a couple at 4 million, and all of a sudden it raises your average up, right? So 988, we're going to go through, we're going to do medians after this as well in just a second, but we'll do these first. And then the last one I want to check here is Stewart. Okay. And then let's come in. There's 79 sales. And this one, again, I'm guessing is going to be, mid to upper fives, although it was way off on that last one. So take what I say with it. Yeah. See, they're at 1.329 million. 593, and that's Stewart. But now let's compare these averages with medians, because you had a sale in here that's $11 million. Okay, so that's going to throw your averages off a little bit. So in Stewart, we've got 79 sales, meaning the 40th sale is your median. Let's see how far off the median is from your average, and this is why I like to use medians. So the 40th sale is 662 for Stewart. And that feels a lot more like what I would suggest prices are going to be like to buyers going down there. Okay. I wouldn't say they're going to be 1.32 million. In fact, 1.32 million, there's only 12 of the 79 that are the average sales price or more. That because we had so many at that higher price point, it pulls that average up. So now let's go do the same thing for Palm City. Palm City. Okay. We got 55 sales. That means the 28th sale is going to be the median. Again, the average was 988,000. Okay. The 28th sale is 747, much lower. Much lower. Still higher than I anticipated it would be, but much lower. And that's in Palm City. So now let's come back and we're going to look at Jensen Beach. And guys, this is a kind of research that I'm going to do when I list your home, right? When you're listing your home and you want to know what your prices are worth, not only am I going to look at your specific price, okay, here it's the 11th one, I'm also going to look at what the market's doing as a whole so that you're educated. Okay, so here we're at 570. But the median was 584. So those two are actually pretty close. But on Palm City, it was a 747 median compared to a 988 average. And Stewart, it was half, 662 median, 1.329 average. Port St. Lucie, I already know is going to be right around 415 because I know Port St. Lucie like the back of my hand. But let's punch it in. It could have changed. I haven't checked it since Monday. So 381, man, I got to do some math here. 150, 191. So the 191st is going to be our median. So I'm looking on the left here for the 191st. We're at 125, 150, 175. And there it is. We're at 418, 7.25. I said it'd be 415. So I was pretty close. So guys, there you go. Again, I like looking at medians a lot more than I like looking at averages because those really high or really low sales can pull it a lot. But you'll see again, I'm going to review these numbers one more time. In PSL, the average is 443. The median is 418. Jensen Beach, which is the lowest of the three that I looked at in Martin County, the median is 570. The average is 584. Let's do a little price analysis on this. And I'm going to look at averages. 584 minus 443 divided by 443. That's 32% higher if you're looking in Jensen Beach compared to PSL. Okay. Now, the average in Palm City was 988. The median was 747. Let's look at, I'll even be nice. Let's look at medians. 747 minus 418 equals divided by 418. It's 79% more to go to Palm City versus to go to Port St. Lucie. And Stewart, even though the average is way higher at 1.3, the median is lower than Palm City at 662. So when I look at the medians divided by 418, it's 58.4% more to live in Stewart versus PSL. So guys, there's some numbers. Hopefully they're nice little benchmarks that show you where you should be. That does not mean that you should not live in Martin County. Martin County is beautiful. It's got a lot of things that would make you want to live there. And honestly, when you're looking at different communities, the better the community, usually the more you're going to pay for it for a reason. That's That's why you're paying more. It's better. More people desire it. So the more you're going to save, well, the less you're going to get in house, in area, in neighbors, in neighborhood, in your lot. Again, I don't want to push that PSL is the answer because it's cheaper. I just want to make sure that you're aware of those numbers. Guys, if you've got anything that you want me to focus on in PSL or the Treasure Coast in a future market update, let me know in the comments or in a private DM, and I'm happy to do so. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. Take care.